Olympus is here once again, and I know a lot of people love this map for pubs, but ranked it isn't the best. A lot of people struggle on it, third parties are everywhere, and the map is just so open that a lot of endgame spots are just completely unplayable. So hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8-Second Gaming, and in today's video I'm going to be breaking down some tips for Olympus so that you can start to absolutely dominate in ranked. And if you want even more tips from top level players, all highly targeted at specific areas of Apex, in order to make you the best player you can be, you need to check out the GameLeap website right now. Over there, you will find so many guides, including legend guides, VOD reviews, positioning guides, and even psychology guides to get you into the mindset of a Predator level player. So if you want to step your game up to that next level, click the link in the description, get your membership today, or I'll steal all your aglets. But now back to Olympus. Starting off, the first tip is to get a team, and I know that sounds like a no-brainer, but listen to me very closely here. This season we are playing on two very ape heavy maps. Olympus is the first one, and we're going to Kings Canyon next split, so right now is the best time to find a team and start building chemistry with each other. You need to be able to trust the people you play with and make sure that they will all know each other's playstyles and callouts. And on top of that, we do have a video covering some team comps that you and your team can try out and run in order to best fit your playstyles and help in your climbs. With this map, you need to have a team that has good callouts and communication, because if you start a fight, you need to be able to end it very quickly. If you don't, there's 100% a third party on the way to interrupt you, and if that happens, you also need to be able to call that out and be able to work out a way to escape. So in order to find a team, check out the description of this video. There you'll find the GameLeap Discord, and we have tons of members that are all looking for people to play with in the Apex channel. Throw a message in there asking for some people to play with, or even scroll through till you find someone that you think would be a good fit with you and see how it works out. Give it some time though, play a few games with each other, learn how you mesh, and if things don't work out, they don't work out. No hard feelings, move on to the next person. Alright, next up, tip number 2, and that's to find a good drop spot. Now, what makes a good drop spot? Well, there's a couple of things, so let's break them down. Number 1, there has to be a good amount of loot there. If the spot you land on only has a handful of bins, your team isn't going to be leaving with a lot of loot, and you'll be struggling for that game. When you pick a spot, make sure that your team can all land in different buildings, all get loot, and if you happen to be contested, make sure that there's enough to split so you can share with your squad and get geared enough to fight with. Number 2 is you need to have good rotations out. With Olympus, you have two options for rotations. You have tridents and you have jump towers. So in most cases, you need to have at least access to one of those in case you need to make a fatty rotation, because circle is a ways away. And I know this does change if you have Valkyrie, but that's a case-to-case situation, so just be aware of that. Another reason to have good rotations out is if you get contested, you start losing the fight, you need to have a way out of there very quickly, so having a good rotation is very key. Number 3, it's nice to have good third-party potential. In Apex's current state, the game is very third-party fight heavy. So if you can secure some early KP off of a third party, you'll be set for the game. You can just sit back, relax, and ride it out for easy placement points. And number 4, you need to like dropping there. If you're going to be going to a spot over and over again, making that your home, you need to enjoy fighting there. In ranked, it is extremely important to know your drop spot like the back of your hand so that you can loot everything efficiently, know where all the loot spots are so that if you have to fight, you know what's there, and a couple other reasons. So make sure you love dropping there because you're going to be going over and over again. Now, over on the GameLeap website, I did do a video covering some of the best drop spots, so if you want to see more, go check those out over there. But now let's talk about tip number 3, and that's not to fight in the Triangle of Death. For those that are wondering, what is the Triangle of Death? Well, imagine the Bermuda Triangle. You know that spot on Earth where ships go and mysteriously disappear? Well, there's basically a spot like that on Olympus as well, where if you go there, your RP will miraculously disappear. It's basically anywhere from Estates to Hammond Labs, all the way up to Turbine.
But this area seems like other areas on the map. Why can't I go there, Mr. Hostess with the mostest?
Well, good question, little Timmy. The reason you don't want to go there is because most of this area is surrounded by high traffic areas. A lot of teams are going to be rotating through there, so if you shoot one bullet, and I'm serious, one tiny bullet, you'll have the entire lobby on top of you in seconds, and it won't be a very pogger's time. Now, you may also be wondering, what if you do have to rotate through there? Maybe circle ends there, or maybe you just can't go around because teams are holding you. Well, you can still run through it, but be very careful when doing it. If you have to hold a spot, make sure that your presence is known and people are aware that you're holding a spot. You're less likely to get aped that way. People will probably still do it, but it's less likely. And if you have to go through it, try sticking to the sides and being out of sight as much as possible. Even if you don't want to fight, others may want to, and you need to avoid that as much as possible. Now, tip number 4 is all about how to get stacked loot in Olympus. The new POI phase driver that was introduced in Season 12 has a very cool new mechanic where you can call in 3 cargo bot loot holders every 45 seconds. So if you land there, make sure someone hits that button right away because the timer will start as soon as they do that, and then you can loot and then hit the driver again, possibly 2 to 3 times before leaving, and you get a ton of great loot from that. On top of that, there are these random robots all around the map that look like Pathfinder, and honestly they jump scare me every time it pops up next to me. It's terrifying. Well, these guys are a slot machine because you know EA does love its gambling. As you look at the Marvins, you will see 3 faces going around in a circle, 1 white, 1 blue, and 1 purple. You always want to get it on purple because you can get hop-ups, backpacks, armor, and more from it. But how do you guarantee purple? Well, pay close attention to the bot. As the white face passes and the blue one is about to appear, you want to hit it. That way it will always be purple, and make sure you get the best loot you can every time. Another fun fact about these is, like the cargo bots and loot ticks, these do not respect crafting rotation. So you can get items that are in the crafter from these robots. But wait, we aren't done with these guys just yet. If the Marvin's arm is sparking while you're looking at him, then after you finish playing the slot, getting your loot, you want to destroy the robot by punching or shooting him. Punching is best because it doesn't make as much noise. He will then drop a gold arm, and when you pick it up, you can then ping the next closest Marvin and then bring it to them. When you bring it to them, just hit the button right away. It doesn't matter what color it's on because you will put the arm back on, the face will turn gold, and it will spit out 3 gold loot items. These can be any gold item in the game and can really stack your team in terms of loot, so it's almost always worth it to track down the arms when possible. And now we have tip number 5, and that's not to get too stressed about rank this season. Trust me when I say Olympus is a horrible ranked map. You may be playing a lot and not seeing the same results you have in past seasons. But don't worry, don't stress about it because this isn't you slipping as a player, it's just the state of the map and the game currently. Olympus is a fun map, it's great for pubs and casual games, but for competitive it just doesn't have the workings that it should. Respawn did try to fix that this season, but the changes were in good faith but didn't work the way they thought they would. When Olympus first came out, they tried making it the competitive map, they held one small tournament and realized how bad it actually was from the feedback that the pros gave, and they have never had another tournament on there. That's for a good reason, Olympus just isn't that good. So you can still learn a lot from this season. It will teach you about third parties and how to deal with them effectively, but don't stress if you aren't climbing as high. Take this season to learn as much as you possibly can about what I just said, and then you can apply it on a better ranked map next season. Olympus is definitely one of the hardest maps to adapt to with how different the flow of it is, but with a little bit of time, I'm sure a lot of you will start to understand it. I really hope these tips helped you even just a little bit, and if it did, remember to drop a thumbs up and smash that sub button to stay up to date with all of our daily uploads. Thank you all for watching once again. I'm 8 Second Gaming, and I will see you in the next one.